Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2024 as we continue our Road to Glory run with Buxton. Now in the Vanarama National League, we moved out of the North through the playoffs in some exciting fashion, I would say. Let's see if we can hold on in the Vanarama North, improve our squad, hopefully start being able to practice and train on a regular basis. Lots of things going on. Let's get right into it. All right, here we are, end of season review for our very first season with a Buxton, and a very good season at that. I mean, it would have been nice to go up as champions, but going up through the playoffs in convincing fashion is pretty good too. Either way, we get up there, right? So here is the team that we brought in. Obviously, Scarborough playing extremely well as our striker here. He only had one goal, though, on 6 sub appearances, but not sure why it says he played extremely well then. Obviously 7.07 rating is amazing, but only on six sub appearances. All right, so maybe he played extremely well for the very short period of time we had him. He might be worth somebody who might be worth bringing in here. You never know. We'll take a look at that. Will Tomlinson. Now, he did play a lot of games, 17 appearances, 6 subs, 5 goals, 3 assists, 7.05 average rating. So that one was definitely a good one. Minihan, we don't have any information for. A lot of these are the ones that came in before, like, at the beginning of the season or before the beginning of the season, so we don't really have any information about them. Kawa coming in here, A+, also on him. 6.86 is pretty respectable, 37 appearances, 11 goals, 7 assists. Not bad for Mr. Kawa there. And again, still some more others. Campton Sturridge, I don't know. 49 starts, 3 subs, 16 goals, 5 assists, 6.82. I mean, he started picking up in the second half of the season, right? That later half of the season. And so if we get that Campton Sturridge, amazing. If we get the early Campton Sturridge, not so good, right? So really depends on which Campton Sturridge we end up with when it's all said and done. But anyway, sorry for it wouldn't be Football Manager if I didn't yawn, guys. I'm sorry. And then J. Cole comes in as a loan. Transfers out. I don't know that we get credit for any of these. We do not. So I'm not even going to bother looking at those. And there were no loanies. Okay, cool. Obviously, A+, we did win the playoff this season. So awesome stuff there. Overall, 4th position, just barely outside of being able to win it as outright champions. I mean, this early, kind of this midsection here, right here. December, January was our rough patch. And then we just took care of business at the end of the season, which was amazing. FA Cup run. We actually went on in a little bit of an FA Cup run. You know, we got, we did have a couple draws. I guess it's not as much of an FA Cup run as I think, because I was thinking, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We made it to 6 games. No, we only made it 1, 2, 3, 4 games. But still, 4 games in the FA Cup's not bad. It's something. We didn't get knocked out the very first round, so like we did here in the FA Trophy. But, it is what it is. Moments to remember. 7-0 win against a Brackley. Pretty amazing. And then we had a 2-1 victory over Scunthorpe. Followed by our goal of the season came against Banbury. A goal from Kirby. Okay, we got to go watch this Kirby goal, I think. Kirby. All right, let's go. What's goals? Do I agree? It's the very first goal, too. Oh, it's just a free kick? It's a good goal. It's a good goal. I'm not gonna deny that, but, I'm not going to watch the rest of them. We just watch the one we care about. Cool. Well, that's the... Oh, you know what? Actually, no. Where's the... Why didn't it put me back? There we go. The finances. Still, club reputation stays the same. No changes there. Sponsorship, obviously, against first season in, we don't really have much information here. Shirts sold. Campton Sturridge did get the most shirts. Kirby, Osborne, Diego, and Weston falling up behind. And speaking of shirts, I wish I could get me a shirt for Buxton, but I cannot. I was not able to find any. Here's the team that we had. Our best 11, Durnley obviously in goal, Francis Engel on the left, Minahan on the right, Shields and Hunt in the middle, Kirby, McBurney as our 2 midfielders, and then Osborne on the left wing, Kawa on the right wing, Elliott and Campton Sturridge up front, or in the middle, I should say. Yeah, I mean, some of this makes sense. Obviously, Campton Sturridge towards the end, Osborne, yeah, some of these do make sense. Some of these guys will definitely be sticking around for next season. We definitely want to keep them. We did get manager of the season, or manager of the month for February. Fans player of the season was Sam Osborne, our winger. Young player of the season was Kawa at 20 years of age. Not bad. Signing of the season was Campton Sturridge. I mean, he did start picking it up, like I said. So good stuff there. If he keeps that up, we are in good place. Goal of the season was Kirby. We saw that. Top goal scorer, Campton Sturridge, 16 goals. Not too bad. Sam Osborne with 14 assists. Sam Osborne with 6 player of the matches. Highest average rating was Sam Osborne, and most passes completed was Max Hunt. We did get some record breakers. Captain's charge on rec goals by a player in a season overall, as well as league goals. Most goals by player in a match was Sam Smart with 3. Most goals by player in a league match was Sam Smart with 3. Most assists was Osborne. Most clean sheets was Durnley. Most player of the match awards in the season was Sam Osborne. And we got a lot. The youngest player was Kawa. He came actually in at 19 years of age. He's going to be good. Oldest player was Curtis Weston at 37 years of age. Big difference there. Hey, Dad. I mean, they could be father and son. Sam Osborne picking up the fastest goal in 57 seconds. Youngest goal scorer was Kawa. He scored, 7 days after his first start? Not bad. And then oldest goal scorer was Shields at 34 years of age. All right, that's that. Once Buxton got rolling early in the season, it looked hard to stop them going on to promotion. I mean, other than December and January. I mean, that obviously looked like it might have been a bit of a bummer. But there we go. We're going up. All is good. Prolific Campton Sturridge. Cool. Romello Mitchell. He does look good. Too bad we can't afford him. I mean, unless we can get him on a loan. Yeah, I didn't think so. You never know sometimes. But yeah, he looks good. I'm not gonna deny that fact. Anything else here we want to look at? Looks like we did gain 47 followers. What? That's the start. Club vision, work within the wage budget. Play defensively solid football. We have been playing counter football, right? And that has been working for us. We might continue that into the next tier for a bit, and we'll see how that works. Make the most set pieces. Yes, play counter-attacking football. We've been doing that. Grow the club's reputation. My goodness, why is the yawns? It's only noon. Literally, it's only noon. It's Football Manager, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's a meme now at this point. It's a Football Manager yawn meme. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 33. Hopefully, we don't get too many of those anyway. And they just want us to avoid relegation. I'm hoping we're not even close to relegation. A little bit of manager support. I wish that would go up higher, but we'll get there. Team leaders, Granite, Menahan, Diego, Kirby, Shields, across the highly influential. I need to just accept that. I'm okay with that. End of season team meeting. Thank you all for coming. Let's talk about our aims. Okay, so Osborne thinks we can put in a strong campaign. I think we can avoid relegation. What? But there was no support. You know what? It's fine. He says put in a strong performance, but that makes no sense. We're not going to get relegated. I don't think I've ever gotten relegated back down to the Vanarama National North or South after getting to the National League. It's just too easy to stay up. Now, watch this be the first season that we do, but it just seems unlikely. So I think they're gonna change their tune here once I get some new players in. Once they see the new players, see the quality of players. It's not like we can bring in like amazing players because we don't have money, but we'll bring in some people. We'll figure something out. All right, speaking of players, basically anybody below this line right here, 7.0 and below, actually probably just these three down here for sure. These three down here for sure are not coming back. They're just not. They didn't play well enough. I mean, it's possible that Jake Hull could be the type of player that, if we could bring him back. He does have some development ahead of him, but Granite didn't play especially well in 6.63. Weston didn't play especially well. He had enough appearances for that. Both of them are out of contract at the end of the season, so we'll definitely be letting those go on their merry way. Scott Bowden probably needs to go just because he's just not going to be good enough, honestly, for the step up. Shields probably not going to be good enough. We might keep him and Burrow just as backup. Same thing with Connor Brown, who, just these three down here might be worth just keeping around just for backup type stuff. Anybody above that line, though, 6.75 and above, we probably want to try to keep, especially if they have any sort of development ahead of them at all. And most of these guys do. So if we can try to keep most of these guys, that would be ideal. Scarborough didn't play much, but he played well when he did show up. So maybe we do try to get him in. It does say that he's got a $0 transfer value, so maybe we can come in here. And just go ahead and see if we can get him in here. Why not? I mean, he's a player that 6 substitutes got a 7.07. I mean, Maybe it doesn't mean much. Maybe it does. We'll find out. He does have a little bit of development ahead of him. It's good to bring people in that that have played well. What's your actual contract with your current squad? It's about to expire. So honestly, if we could get you in, Tomlinson here, on a free, which I think we can do 30 days before his thing's up. I mean, we could try to make an offer here for him. They're not going to let me have him for free. Yeah. And we're not going to give money for him. So 30 days before his thing's up, which would be probably June 1st. So here in about a few weeks, we could try to go in for him. Some of these other guys we definitely want to renew. Obviously, Sam Osborne, we're absolutely positively renewing. Absolutely need Osborne to stick around. Oh, some of this money is just pretty steep. How much are you making right now? Oh, that's a big step up. Did we get our new budgets yet? Oh, you're really not happy, huh? Requested wage. Okay, let's just drop some of these other ones, though, a little bit. We can usually drop them still, even as long as we keep the wage the same. 800 pounds per week is a lot of money. I mean, Diego's making 1,000, so there's that. I mean, Diego might be the kind of person we do want to get rid of because he's good, but is he 1,000 pounds per week good? I don't know. We'll have to see. I do want to check. Oh, we did get our budgets for next year. Okay, for some reason I thought we hadn't, but no, we actually got quite a bit of budget. I mean, other than the fact that we don't have any money in the bank, we have imaginary money that apparently we can spend. All right, so Osborne's done. Actually, let me go ahead and go through the rest of these, and I'll get some of these guys signed up. And actually, honestly, at that point, I'm probably just going to, let's go look at the squad planner, just so we can take a look here, and you guys can kind of get a little bit of an idea of where we're looking. So let me ask the assistant just to suggest for everything, just so we have everybody filled in. Cool. If we can get Scarborough back, he makes a good backup for Captain Sturge. Perfect. Where's Diego? Oh, is it really? Can I? It's not showing people because there's some people that they don't have contracts. The contracts end at the end of the season, so it's gonna be a little bit. Yeah, this is not good. I'll have to look at the stuff later once I get these contracts renewed. Let me get all these contracts renewed, then we'll take a look at the squad and we'll figure out who we need. So I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we were able to renew a bunch of contracts. A couple people did not want to renew, which is fine. They'll just move on. And we were able to start getting a few people. We'll take a look at those if they start coming in. But for now, let's just take a look at the squad planner for a second. Oh, by the way, also, I won manager of the season. Yay me. We'll take a look at the squad planner here. Striker, we've got several options here. Although Elliott primarily would be attacking midfielder. I did put an offer out for Scarborough here. I was like, you know what? He did show us enough to get worth another look. So we'll see what happens with that. I did go ahead and renew Diego's contract. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe that was a mistake. He didn't play especially well, but we'll give him another chance here. Obviously, Captain Sturge picked it up at the end of the season. So plenty of strikers right now. Attacking midfielders on the left. Obviously, we want to get Osborne back. Elliott can technically play over there, but we really just need more depth over there on that left-hand side. Same thing on the right-hand side. It's just Osborne. So we need attacking midfielders. That's wingers, I should say. So we'll be definitely taking a look at those. In the middle, we got Diego, Elliott, and technically Kirby. So I think that's actually not bad. I think Elliott looked pretty good. Diego can play there. So should be okay. I think strikers and attacking midfielders are both looking okay. It's just really those wings that we need to take care of. Defensive midfielders. We do have Kirby and we have McBurney. We definitely need some more depth there. So actually, let me keep writing this down, or start writing this down, I should say, because this is important information. So we need attacking midfielders on the left, attacking midfielders on the right. We need defensive midfielders. We probably need at least what does Osborne prefer to play? I think we played him on the left mostly, so we really need one on the left, one backup, and then we need two on the right. For defensive midfielders, we need at least probably one starter and then one backup. Because I think Kirby can be one of our starters. McBurney basically becomes a backup and kind of go from there. Left wing, Francis Engel could hold down the fort there, but More than likely, we need a starter in front of him. He could definitely play backup, though. Right wing, Manahan definitely can hold down that. That's fine. So defensive on the right, we just need one backup. We need a lot of players, guys. We need a lot of players. And then defensive center. Hunt obviously can. Hunt could probably start because he does have some development ahead of him. He's going to get better. But we definitely need 3 just overall, at least. And then as far as goalkeepers are concerned, we need a backup. So we have a lot of work to do. This is a lot of work. We are basically rebuilding the entire squad. I mean, not the entire squad, but a big chunk of the squad, right? I'm going to still try to go after Kawa. I'm going to still try to go after Tomlinson. And I think I'm going to go after... I think that's just the only 2. But we got to wait for the opportunity for us to actually offer them contracts instead of having to pay for them. So Tomlinson, I think, would be okay. But like I said, there's several guys that are just going to be released. So it is what it is. We'll get through that. I'll bring you guys back once we have some information. All right, our first big signing. I mean, none of these are going to cost us any money up front, but as far as wages are concerned, he's going to cost us a pretty decent chunk of money. First big signing will be Oliver Green here, 21-year-old midfielder. He didn't play especially well for Curzon Ashton this last season in the Vanarama National, or Vanarama North, I should say. But he's got so much potential. I felt like we got to roll the dice on this guy. 21 years of age. He's got plenty of time to reach some of this potential and just kind of see where he goes. Plus, they might have played him as a midfielder. Maybe he's better as a defensive midfielder. We'll see. But I think he's worth bringing in. Just looks pretty solid overall. And we're going to go ahead and grab him. So that's one defensive midfielder and potentially a starter for a defensive midfielder taken care of. So let's go ahead and just put Green in here for that starter spot, and we'll keep looking. I'll bring you guys back for more, but I figured he was a good start, especially. I mean, if he ever realizes that potential, he is going to be incredible. So we'll see what we got there. Maybe we got somebody we can sell on later for a big chunk of money. All right, it is July 1st. All the shifting of people who are leaving on loan, for people who are retiring, people who are released, people who are coming in that I've already signed. All that's been finagled. All that's happened. So we're going to take a look at the status of things as they are. As I get my little notebook again to make sure that I keep track of what our needs are and stuff like that. So let's go here. Where did we probably last see? You guys saw we got the loans. So the big one we got was Oliver Green. Obviously, he comes in here as a hopefully defensive midfielder, but we might keep him. We might do some midfield stuff. We haven't decided yet, but he's obviously got a lot of potential. See what he can do for us. He's not far from first team level. We'll definitely get him some game time. See what he can develop into. We then brought in probably a series of bodies is probably the best way to say that. Some of these are pretty good. Some of these are just bodies, so don't get too excited. First up comes up Dom Terre here, or Terre, probably Terre. He can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the middle, he can play striker, he can play all over the place. One of the reasons I brought him in is because of his flexibility. He's not like the most amazing, obviously. He's 2.5 stars, could go maybe a little bit better to 3 stars, so he's just a body, but he played well last year. The Vanarama National North 6.94 is a really good rating overall, so we'll see what Mr. Terra can do for us in this league. We then brought in Justin Johnson, another attacking winger. Same thing, 2.5 star current ability, could be as high as 3 stars. He played 6.86 last season for Chorley in the North. So he played well. I mean, again, it's just another body. We need some bodies that can come in that look like they played well in the in the leagues that we were before to replace some of the guys that we were releasing, because we released a lot of guys. We then brought in Haney McKenzie. He comes in here from South Shields. Again, could play all across the front. Really flexible guy. Same basic story, 2.5 star current ability. He can go, where is he? Why do I not see him? Oh, there he is. He can go as high as 3.5 stars. So he's actually got a little bit more potential than some of those other guys. 7.03 for the 7 games he did play for South Shields. So again, someone who played well in the tier below. We'll see if they can make the step up as a body for most of these guys. Although some of these guys might get starting jobs, because it's hard. It's hard with our reputation, or I should say lack of reputation, to get some of the guys that I wanted. There was several guys that had amazing potential, amazing ability, and they're just like, I'm not interested in talking to you. Your stature's not good enough. So sometimes we got to go with what we can get versus what we want. Does that make sense? So we then brought in Michael Ledger here. Again, another 2.5 star, could play in the center, could play on the right. Could get as good as, I guess, 3 star. Just played well in the National North again. Another person who played decently well last season. So we brought him in. Morgan Roberts comes in here from Brackley. He can play all up and down this left-hand side. Actually, he's probably going to play as a wingback for us if we can't find somebody else, because we also have plenty of attacking guys on the left. He can play wingback pretty well, so he could be a pretty good backup for us. I would love to get us a better wingback, but we'll see what we can do for him. His crossing at a 10 is not bad for this level, but he comes in here. He didn't play well for the National North last season for Brackley, but I will also point out that Brackley did not play well as a team, and so some of this might just be that the team itself wasn't good. So if the team's not good, then you're not going to get good ratings for some of your players. You know, that's just kind of the way it is. So we're going to bring him in, give him a chance. He does have some decent potential, 4-star potential overall. We'll see what he can do with him, especially if we can retrain him as a left back. That would be nice. And if we don't get anything for him, if he doesn't do well for us, and if we develop him a little bit, maybe we can sell him on for some money at some point. Then we brought in Harvey Beckett here as a central defender. He's got a lot of potential. Could be as high as 5-star potential. He's not quite ready to maybe be a full starter for us yet. He played decently well for the South last season. And again, he's not even reached his potential yet. 20 years of age. So we brought him in for the future. I can guarantee you he'll get some game time because he's going to have to substitute in just to get some rotation in. But so hopefully we can get him developed up and see what he can turn into. And then last for this, before the rollover, we did bring in Max Brogan here. He's a 2-star current ability. Could be as high as 4.5 stars. The only problem with him is that, I mean, he is currently attacking midfielder, is probably what we're going to be playing him as. We're not playing a midfielder in our current formation. We might have to change that. But he does come in here as a solid backup who can develop for that attacking midfield role and see what we can do with him. So another player who, we got a couple guys here that can develop, and a couple guys here who are just bodies that played well last season. That's kind of the theme that I went with. Did you play well last season, and are you at least 2.5 to 3 stars? Cool, we'll bring you in as a body, backup, whatever. You got a lot of potential? Then we'll bring you in as somebody we can develop. So those are the two flavors of people that we've been trying to primarily bring in. We did bring in Harry Scarborough. He was the only loanee I was able to bring back. The other ones did re-sign contracts with their guys before I was able to get to them. So Kawa, did I say Kawa? What did I say? Forget his name. Kawa, yeah, Kawa. I had it right. Kawa will not be coming in. Tomlinson will not be coming in. Both of them re-signed contracts, and I can't afford them anymore. So, and they don't want to load them back out. They would give them to me for big chunks of money, but I don't want to do that. Obviously, Scarborough has a lot of potential as well. 2-star current ability, 4.5 star. He played well for the few games that he played. We'll give him a chance, see what he can turn into. And that's where that is. We do still have a little bit of money left in the wage budget, about £1,500 per week. I'd rather not hit that £1,500 per week because, I mean, if our board's not going to try and fix our financial situation, then we're going to have to. So if we can go a little bit under this wage budget, that would be ideal. So status of the squad as it stands right now. Strikers, we're set. We got plenty of guys that can play striker. Campton Sturridge is going to be probably our primary. More than likely, Scarborough will be our secondary maybe, or Diego, something like that. We'll take Elliott off this list. He's not going to be in there. Something of this nature will be how it looks. Attacking midfielders on the left, it will definitely be Osborne. I need to think about that one. Which side I need him on. He's obviously going to be starting on one side or the other. It looks like he will be starting on the left. He's just better on the left. So we'll be starting Osborne on the left. And then Elliott will definitely not be in there. Who else will not be in there? Roberts will not be in there. He's currently a fullback for us. That's where we've got him slotted in. Haney will probably primarily be an attacking midfielder in the center. And let's start with that for a second. Osborne will not be starting over here, most likely. I mean, our prospects here are not amazingly great, but we're going to make do with what we got. More than likely, Scarborough will not be here. Tare, do you prefer to be left or right? You are a right footer. What about you, Johnson? You are a right only. Technically, you say you play better on the left, though, which is strange. But you can play inside forward on the right. Isn't that what we've been playing? We've been playing inverted winger, but I think I could switch that to an inside forward if we wanted to. So, Johnson, do you play good inverted winger as well? You do play a pretty decent inverted winger. Haney will not be here. So, honestly, it'd probably be... I don't know which of these guys will start. I mean, I wish we had a solid, true starter, but one of these two guys will start. Whichever one ends up playing well will start. The other one will be backup, or we'll just maybe do about 50-50. Not great on the right-hand side. It's not the worst. It's not the best. We'll figure out what we can do. Left-hand side I'm pretty happy with. Tare does not sit here. Johnson apparently is going to be backup for both sides. So probably something like that. Probably something of that nature. Johnson probably prefers to be on the left-hand side, so we'll probably leave him as the backup for both sides. Obviously, the guy that we just dropped off, Elliott, could play on either side as well. So we have backups that I just kind of flipped it off of here. So we have options. Diego, honestly, probably our starter will be either Diego or Elliott. I haven't decided which of them. Elliott played really well last season. So Diego, we obviously would like to get some game time on. Haney and Brogan. I mean, all of these guys really need to get into this. More than likely, what we'll do is probably have Diego be just primarily as a striker. Elliott will be primarily our starter here, and we'll do something of that nature. Something like that. But again, some of these guys can play on the left, can play on the right, whatever. We might be moving them around. Truth be told, Haney, honestly, between Brogan and Elliott, we're probably good here. Maybe we move Haney to this left-hand side, and senior squad attackers, midfielders. Haney can probably be a primary on this left-hand side, and that'll leave Johnson on the right. So that gives us 2 for each of these spots. Does give us 3 strikers, but that's okay. We're going to be rotating some strikers a bit here. We are definitely suffering in the midfield. The defensive midfield is not great. Oliver Green looks like he's got a lot of potential, so we're definitely right now he's going to be starting for us because of how much potential he has with McBurney as a backup. We definitely need another defensive midfielder. So let me just reset my listing here. I mean, we're good on the attacking side. I mean, I would rather have a better attacking midfielder on the right-hand side, but otherwise we are actually pretty good. We definitely need another defensive midfielder, preferably a starter. But if we had to start Oliver Green and get his development started early, I would not be the end of the world. So we definitely need one starter. Yeah, we'll go with that. Left backs. I mean, we can make do with this. It's not amazing, but we can make do with this if we had to. Right backs, not great. If we can make do with this if we had to, I think I'm going to say DR. If we can get us a 1 backup to come up behind Minahan, and that way we can put Marshall either out on loan or something like that, that would be preferable. But if we absolutely had to play Marshall, I think we can make it work. Goalkeeper, we still desperately need a backup. And honestly, a lot of these slots, we're probably going to be trying to get loanies first and then see what money we have left over. And then for the middle here, Francis Angle doesn't, I mean, whatever. We'll just look at this one because it's the same for both. Max Hunt obviously is going to be our primary. Ledger looks like he's going to be a solid secondary. Yeah. And then Beckett as a backup with a lot of potential. So we just need one more. We need probably one more backup. I think we can make do with Ledger as a starter. So defensive on the center, we need one more backup, most likely. And if we luck out and get a better starter, then awesome. But four spots that we got to go find. Again, I'm trying not to spend money, so if we can get some loanies for those spots, I would be happy with that. I mean, getting a loanee for backup spots is not easy, but we will see what we can do. So that's where we're at. Looks okay. I mean, we did just already play against the under 18s. I mean, we just drew because we don't really try that hard in the friendlies. We're just trying to rotate guys, get guys some game time, get guys back into the swing of things. For now, we are going to stick with this formation, see what that does for us. We still have this one as a backup. So having some guys that can play midfielder is okay if we decided we want to swap to that. But for now, that's where we're at. So there's no registration at this level, so we can just bring as many people as we need, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's where we're at. It's not amazing, but it's definitely workable with what we got so far. There's a few spots that I'm very happy with, a few spots that we definitely have to work cut out for. So let me go away, do a little bit more work. I'll bring you guys back right before the first game, see what we have been able to pick up to fill these last 4 spots. All right, a couple more weeks in. 2 of our spots have been filled. We did get our backup goalkeeper, Tom Donahue here. Comes in here as a 2.5 star. Could be as high as 4.5 star. He could actually be better than Durnley someday. He's actually in here on a no contract, though, which probably is okay for a backup goalkeeper. If he does start to develop and start to look good, we probably want to try and sign him to a real contract. But for now, if somebody comes and poaches him, I'm not going to cry too much. We'll just get us another backup because Durnley is going to be our starter. But again, if he starts to develop a little bit, we will have to make some moves, which is going to be hard for him to develop because, again, he's currently our backup. But I don't know. Maybe we should just put some emphasis into him. If these white stars started to show up and actually look like yellow stars, where they give us a little more confidence that is exactly where he's going to be, then we might make some changes then as well. But that's it. That's Donahue. And then we got a loanee in for our defensive midfield, Fapatu here. He comes in here 3.5 star current ability, could be as high as 5 star. So obviously right there alongside Kirby. He actually wants to play as a ball-winning midfielder, which is great. We can definitely do that. So he slots in immediately as our starter. Again, we've got our backup goalkeeper. So we're still looking for a right back and a defensive center back. I had a couple people out, offers out for some people. Nothing that has happened yet. I do have one big money center back that if we can get would be huge, but it's not looking hopeful necessarily. So I'll bring you guys back if that happens. And then we had a right back offer out, but that one got canceled. Can't find anybody for loans for the right back for sure. So we'll keep looking, and I will let you guys know once we fill these last 2 spots. All right. Well, we tried to get a center back, an amazing center back, Jalil Saidi here from Morocco. Would have been incredible. Could also play as a defensive midfielder. Just so good. But we could not get the work permit to go through. Very, very unfortunate. Man, he would have been amazing. He would have been amazing. There's just nothing we can do at this point. It's really unfortunate. Yeah. Wow. And I think we spent some money on that work permit too. Well, yeah, we probably did. So I thought it looked like it might happen, so I went ahead and put the money in, but just didn't happen. So really, 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 really unfortunate. It would have been amazing to have him, but maybe he would have been too expensive overall anyway. Tempted to lower this. I mean, I know they usually get pretty grumpy when I do, but I don't care about the domestic. Well, I just don't care about the domestic cup. It's a lot of money. I'm going to lower it. We're going to just eat the temporary unhappiness, and this gives us more wage budget. Not that we're going to spend it all, but it just gives us more to kind of play around with here. So we'll go with that. Hopefully they don't get too angry about it. Let's see how many of the squad is unhappy. 1. Yeah, just 1. Okay, I can deal with that. That is fine. So status of the squad again. Man, I wanted that center back so bad. Status of the squad is we're still looking for a center back and a right back. I mean, that was going to be. I was putting all my eggs in that one basket for that center back. But I mean, he would have eaten up the entirety of our rest of our wage budget, but he would have probably been worth it. So I got to go back out looking again. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot. If I go look at the scouted players for people who are interested in a transfer on right back, there's just slim pickings here. I already went after this Parrot guy, but they were going to cost us. It was going to cost us too much. And then as far as center back, I don't think there was anybody on center back. And the same thing for loans. There's more center backs. I'm sorry. I think I had stopped looking after I found that other guy. So we'll take a look at these center backs again, see if we can get any of these, and keep on pushing. Really, really not sure what else we can do at this point, except just try. So I'll bring you guys back one more time, hopefully with the final answers to whatever we got going on. All right, we're back. It's the first game of the season, so we're going to go ahead and go over what we have. We're still missing that right back and that center back, but we'll kind of go through this. Obviously, we've already looked at pretty much the attacking. You guys kind of already know. A lot of these guys can swap around, so this is just to make sure we have at least 2 people in each slot, but this is not necessarily who's going to play in every single spot all the time. For defensive midfield, we do have a loanee down here, or not loanee, a trial guy. He looks halfway decent. He's a free agent. We could try to bring him in, especially since he can play center back as well and midfield. He looks reasonably okay. Plays 6.81 for Swindon S, which I guess is probably a league below us. So maybe he may or may not be able to make the step up. It's hard to tell, but we might give him a chance. Although for the first trial game we played, he only got a 6.4. So maybe we end up passing on him. Hard to say, honestly. It's just hard to say with some of these guys that you just don't really know. I mean, if we're going to play him as a defensive midfielder, which most likely would be what? I mean, his stats don't look bad except for his stamina and strength. He really needs to get a little bit stronger for sure. If we're playing him as a defensive midfielder, again, it's that strength is the stat that's really slowing him down. He's tall. He looks okay. I might give him a chance to just chalk this up to a bad game if we can get him at a good price as far as salary, that is. And then for defensive side, we also have this Ogar guy who looks really solid. He played really well. He actually got a goal in that trial run, that friendly that we played him in. So he looks like he could be pretty good. His stats look good. He's tall. He's got decent heading and good jumping reach at this level. 18 years of age. Definitely has the potential to continue to move up. So if we can get him in here, I think he would be a good pickup as well. So in fact, we're actually going to go ahead and offer for him for sure. So we're going to go ahead and approach to sign him. I mean, I'd rather not strengthen midfielders if we can get that past him. Okay, looks like we can. And we'll see if we can get him in here. I mean, this relegation release clause is pretty garbage, but hopefully it never becomes an issue. All right, there we go. Got a degree for, reasonably good wage. 450 is not terrible. I might gamble on this shark guy. He looks like, I mean, we just don't know. But he looks like he's got stats in everything except the stamina and strength, and I feel like we could build that up through training. He's 23, though. I don't know. Sometimes you got to make gambles. Sometimes you got to make gambles. You know what? We're going to go for it. If we can get him at a good price. If he actually asks for stupid money, then we're not gonna go for it. If I can get him under 400 or around 400, that'd be okay. I mean, I don't want to give you a yearly wage rise if we can help it. The negotiation here. I bet he agrees with that one. Under 400, he might be worth a gamble. I mean, he definitely needs strength. But if he gets his strength up, the rest of his stats are not the worst for this level. So we'll see if we can get either of those guys. That's it. I mean, we get those guys in, and we're actually looking at a loanee. Actually, I think we're looking at two different loanees. We got this Jake Young here. It could be a right back. Looks pretty decent. We're paying basically nothing for him. And Ethan Mitchell as a center back. Again, looks really good. Basically paying nothing for him. I think we're paying £55 per week for Mitchell, and like £100 or something like that per week from Young. So both of them really, really cheap on the loan side of things. So we'll see what happens. But obviously the next episode will be immediately jumping into the first game. We'll go over the squad for that game in that episode. But decent transfers, not the best, but again, our reputation is not very high, so we lost a lot of guys. We didn't get that amazing defensive guy because of the inability to get the what am I trying to say? And I probably should not have paid for the because it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for us. Had we gotten him, I would have been okay with it, but it was too much of a gamble, and I should not have paid for him. That was a big mistake on my part, but we'll make up for it later with other things. I did get the board to approve to increasing our youth training facility, so that's going to cost a little bit of money. I did ask them to go professional, although I'm kind of glad they said no. We just don't have the money to go professional right now, so we'll keep working on trying to fix the money situation some way, somehow. But we'll go from there. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the team. I think it looks okay. At least okay enough to not get relegated is the way I feel. In fact, we can actually check to see what our prediction is. Most likely our prediction is to still get relegated because that's just the way they like to play things. Yeah, we are the best pick to get relegated. But we tend to overachieve, don't we? So I would suspect that we will not be facing too much relegation if we can help it. So we'll see what can happen. I do appreciate you guys watching, though. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.